The third
dimension.
Predictions
for 2020.
Any questions?
Do you remember the future?
Hello. This is Adolph Vega. Welcome to 2020 Predictions. As always, I'm joined with a few people. Krista is here.
Hello!
And Jake.
Howdy, folks.
And Krista, so everyone listening, when are we recording this?
This is January the 5th, 2020 at 1:15 p.m. Central Time.
Yes, so that way in the future you guys know when we were doing this. So the prediction show, Krista, you weren't here last time for the prediction show, but Jake, you were. Unfortunately, James is not available to record, so we'll just have to keep on trucking. So how we usually do things is we go over what movies and stuff we're looking forward to in the year, and then we go over our predictions from last year, and then we go over predictions for 2020. So let's go to movies that we're looking forward to the most. Jake, I'll let you start this off.
Oh, so many. But I'm gonna pick King Kong versus Godzilla, or Godzilla versus King Kong. However, I always forget. I'm actually looking forward to this because each of these Warner Brothers Godzilla movies have been getting a little better as we go along. So they should be really hitting their stride about now. And the 3D's been good in them too. Okay.
Krista, what are you looking forward to this year?
I think I'm most looking forward to Pixar movies, Onward in particular. That seems interesting.
Okay. And I will say the obvious choice, Wonder Woman 1984. I'm very much looking forward to that. Now, we do have a comment from our Patreon, Mr. Bengal5. He did say he's looking forward to Wonder Woman 1984 and Minions Rise of Gru and Monster Hunter and the Atoili 3DS video game collection. We will be putting in a comment for Mr. Bengal occasionally. He is a patron, and he did pay, and this is a benefit to being a patron, is that you get your comment read on the podcast. So, let's go to a movie you're dreading. So, Krista, what are you dreading in 2020?
I'm so dreading Mulan. I don't have high hopes for Mulan at all.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. The trailer was in 3D, and when I saw the last Star Wars movie, and it did look cool in 3D, so that's something. But Mulan, I don't know about that one either. Jake, do you have a movie that you're dreading for 2020?
Trying to find the 2020 list here, so remember what's coming out in 2020 as opposed to 2021 and 2022. We don't know if it's going to be 3D or not. New Mutants.
Okay. Yeah.
Because we're supposed to be getting a trailer next week, so we'll know if it's going to be 3D or not.
New Mutants have been delayed for like 4 years now or something.
Yeah, it's been delayed so many times. It's like even more than Gambit.
And like it was delayed because they wanted to change the ending of that movie. So
yeah, and apparently it's been changed back.
Yeah. So that's a disaster waiting to happen.
We'll see. That's why I decided to pick it for my dread movie.
So I'm dreading Morbius. This is a Sony Marvel movie, and Morbius character, we've never really seen anything about him so far. I don't know if it's supposed to come out this year, but it's like a vampire kind of movie, and Sony's track record is completely hit or miss. You know, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is great, but I'm not a fan of Venom, so I'm not looking forward to Morbius.
Into the Spider-Verse is the only good Sony movie, in my opinion.
Yeah. Now, our patron is dreading The Croods 2 and dreading the decreased number of 3D movie titles coming out.
Same, so much. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Now, Croods actually I thought was interesting because it was not the movie I was thinking it was when I watched it originally, and I actually liked it a lot. But it's been delayed forever, the sequel.
hmm And they're dumping it at Christmas.
Krista, have you ever watched The Croods?
No, I haven't seen it.
It's a weird but really good animated prehistoric kind of movie. What do you think, Jake?
Yep. Yeah, you have to admit, Nick Cage, no matter what job he takes, he treats it like it's Shakespeare. It's why I think people love him so much, because he gives his all, and it's no different in this animated movie.
And I'm going to agree with Krista that Onward looks great. I'm very excited for that movie. So, I'm also kind of really dreading Minions just because I don't like them.
Oh yeah, I'm so over that. Like why is this still a thing?
Yeah.
The first Minions movie was just mediocre as hell. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't good either, So yeah, this will make another $1 billion without hesitating, but it's not going to be a good movie. I don't think so. Jake, what are your thoughts on Minions?
First Despicable Me was a pleasant, charming surprise, but they went back to that well far too many times.
Yeah, Despicable Me is actually decent. They just beat it over the head so much.
Mm-hmm. Because what is this going to be? The 6th movie in the franchise?
That's a good question because there's 3 Despicable Me movies, right? And then there's 1 Minions movie, but there's a Christmas special or something there too in there, right?
Yeah, and there's all these shorts.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure if you include the special, but yeah, it definitely is a long-standing franchise that I have not gotten into at all.
I mean, it's not even a long standing. It's just these few years. I mean, because How to Train Your Dragon and Despicable Me come out the same year?
I think so. I only watch Minions. I haven't watched any of the Despicable Me movies, and I was like, oh my god, this is just annoying.
I recommend Despicable Me. It's a pleasant surprise. It's almost like it feels like you could slip that movie into the Incredibles universe.
Okay, so those are the movies we're dreading, and those are the movies we're looking forward to in 2020. Now, let's go on to our 2019 predictions overview. So, James is not here, so I'll just go by James's stuff and what we were dreading and looking forward to last year. I'll mention that briefly. I was looking forward to Avengers Endgame and How to Train Your Dragon 3: The Hidden World. Jake, you watched both of those movies. Was I right to look forward to those movies?
Well, yeah, How to Train Your Dragon, most definitely.
And you took James's spot where James is looking forward to Godzilla King of the Monsters last year. And you're looking forward to Godzilla vs. King Kong this year.
Mm-hmm.
And James is looking forward to Spider-Man Far From Home. And he was looking forward to Rise of Skywalker because he wanted to hate it.
Well, he got his wish from his perspective, I guess.
And you were looking forward to Captain Marvel and Lego Movie 2. How did those movies work out for you?
Pretty good. I mean, the second Lego movie wasn't as good as the first, but in hindsight, compared to the Duplo movie, it's a masterpiece. And Captain Marvel, even though it was more of a Nick Fury movie, was enjoyable. It didn't knock it out of the park, but it was I was entertained. I mean, the movie was fine.
And last year, we were dreading, Jake, you were dreading Dumbo.
Still haven't seen it. And from what I've heard, people said, yeah, I called that.
It's okay.
Krista, that was your first review.
I think I gave it too high of a score when I reviewed it, because after that was the first movie I reviewed, and now that I've gotten into the hang of reviewing movies, I feel like I was too nice to Dumbo.
So you gave it a 7. So what do you think you should have gotten a 6?
Yeah.
And Jake, you were dreading Alita Battle Angel, and you actually liked that movie more than I did.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised, quite happily so. It was even better than the anime adaptation.
I was really digging it until the ending, which we're not really going to spoil. We're just going to say that it left you wanting more, and it kind of pissed me off because I wanted it to be concluded. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
I was dreading Aladdin, which was not bad movie. I liked it. Krista, you reviewed that one too, right?
Yeah. I actually liked Aladdin. I feel like I still like it.
And Gemini Man and Krista, you still like that one too, right?
Oh, I love Gemini Man.
There's a lot of hate for that movie besides us.
Listen, I don't care. I love it. Everyone else can hate it. I love it.
Sorry, but the Clive Owen speech when he talks about why he wants clones, why he thinks there should be clones, and it's so obvious. Such the analogies to slavery. To me, that just boom, just put it way over the top. That just exchange between Clive Owen and Will Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And I was dreading Toy Story 4 because I was just worried about them ruining the franchise. And I love Toy Story 4, so they did not ruin it. Jake, you mentioned that it reminded you, it was weird because they played the Heredity song in the trailer, the first teaser trailer.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember that?
Yes, because every time I still hear that song, I crack up because I just think of the end of Hereditary.
And James was dreading Detective Pikachu, which I liked, I just didn't love.
It was okay.
He was dreading the Sonic movie, which we did not get last year.
No.
I'm guessing that he's probably still dreading that movie.
I'm not anymore. That trailer looks fine to me. I'll give it a chance, and if it sucks, then I'll insult it. But I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt.
And finally, James was dreading the Cowboy Bebop movie. I don't remember what happened about that movie. Did that movie come out, or is that delayed?
Nope. As far as I know, nope.
Okay. So let's get into my actual predictions for 2019. And, we haven't really talked about them again. So let's see how well I did. I said Shazam would be a bigger hit than Captain Marvel. I don't think I did very well in that one.
Not box office, but...
I said Episode 9 would be the lowest grossing mainline Star Wars movie to date.
That one's hard to call. I mean, it's going to probably hit $1 billion, but it's crawling there. So of the big box, just if you kind of think about it, yeah, you're not completely wrong.
I said a Nintendo game will be announced, Mario and Luigi Partners in Time for the 3DS. That did not happen at all. I also announced that Nintendo would say that eShop will end sometime soon. That did not happen. I said that Detective Pikachu would be a big hit in the box office, but only make 60s to 70s in Rotten Tomatoes. I think I was pretty much on the money there.
Yeah?
Because Detective Pikachu, I'm checking it right now, live on the air. All right, Detective Pikachu made 68% on Rotten Tomato score, and my prediction was that it'd be the 60s to 70s range. So I think that did pretty damn well predicting that.
Mm-hmm.
I said that Aladdin would be a box office disappointment. And Jake, you said it would either be $2 billion or a solo slice failure. It made $1 billion, so I was wrong.
But I wasn't right either. It just made $1 billion.
I said Toy Story 4 would be this year's Incredible 2 and stay in the box office top 5 for a long time. I think that pretty much happened.
Yep.
I said Terminator Dark Fate would be delayed into 2020. That did not happen.
We wish.
Yeah, that did not happen. I said New Mutants would be a Hulu exclusive and come out in October of 2019. That did not happen.
Nope.
I said Dark Phoenix will end the Fox X-Men film franchise in a whimper. I kind of think that was right.
Yeah,
um,
I think you called that one.
I mean, we both like Dark Phoenix, but
I know. I feel like I live on another parallel universe to everybody else. I'm like going, did we see the same movie?
I said Gemini Man would be another disappointing movie, and people will question Will Smith's career after that.
Oh, the irony. Oh, the irony in that statement. Yeah, it figures we're the only critics that liked it.
So everyone else thinks that's 100% true, but we don't.
but we'll give it to you so to keep your score, to keep your ranking.
All right, I said Sonic movie would be the biggest bomb of the year, hated by critics, biggest flop of the year.
Never happened.
Yeah, if you want to count not even getting released as a flop.
Well, everyone did hate it until they got changed to graphics, so
yeah,
I'll take partial credit on there. And I said the Super Mario trailer will come out and be pretty good. Super Mario movie trailer, and did not come out.
Yeah.
So let's move on to James's predictions. James predicted a soft reboot of the DC Extended Universe. Kind of. I don't know.
I guess because Aquaman kind of changed some things for starters, and Aquaman was released so close to the end of the year. We'll give it to him. What the hell? He's not here.
He said all the Star Wars spin-off movies will be canceled. That's right.
Yeah. I think James has access to a time machine.
That's why he's not here, because he's in the time machine getting more stuff.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
He said Avatar movie will be delayed again.
Yep, time machine. It's probably a hot tub time machine.
All right. James said they will announce a Fantastic Four this year.
Technically, nope. It hasn't been officially announced.
But they have said in a thing that they're working on it, So I'll give them that.
Mm-hmm. And they said there've been some and there's been some Easter eggs that Marvel won't confirm or deny that have popped up in Marvel stuff.
But he says also that Netflix and Disney Marvel TV shows will not be considered canon, which basically.
Yeah.
All right, Jake, are you ready for your predictions for last year?
I am ready as I will ever be. So let's just see if I'm still an idiot.
All right, Jake, you said Marvel will get its first Academy Award. Did that happen?
God, I don't even remember. That shows you how much I pay attention to. I believe Black Panther got several.
USA Disney had 3 movies to break $2 billion in the box office. That's hard because nothing got $2 billion, but there were several movies that did hit $1 billion.
I didn't get it, but this was Disney's $10 billion year, so I don't think they're shedding any tears about not hitting $2 billion for a movie.
You said Godzilla, King of the Monsters will do better than expected. Nope.
Nope, didn't get that one.
That one actually kind of flopped, unfortunately.
Oh, it definitely flopped because hardcore fans were punishing this one for the last one, which they shouldn't have, but hey, that's the way fandom is.
You said WB will have a stellar year and more positivity for DC movies. I think you're pretty right there because Joker movie is a huge hit, made $1 billion, and it costs nothing to make, so all of that's profit. And everyone seemed to really like Shazam.
Yeah. So
people are more positive for DC movies, and Aquaman did really well.
And it crossed the $1 billion mark. Shazam made enough that it's got a sequel guaranteed.
You say Marvel will get a backlash because they're disappointed with Endgame. I don't know anyone that was really disappointed with Endgame.
No, but I didn't. There's been a bit of a backlash against Marvel.
A little, yeah.
I mean, yeah, director. Yeah, it seems like every between Martin Scorsese and Francis Ford Coppola.
You said that Aquaman will break $1 billion in January of 2019.
I called that.
Like a week before it happened.
Yeah, I know that wasn't real hard. I'm not a genius here. I think the idiot label still applies.
All right, you say Fantastic Four and X-Men will be confirmed for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And you very specifically said for Fantastic Four, Emily Blunt and John Krasinski will be picked for that movie.
Oh, I was wrong about that. We haven't even got an official announcement. Just a wink that there might be some Easter eggs floating around the MCU for the Fantastic Four.
All right, and you said there'll be even fewer 3D releases than last year. Which, yeah?
Well, duh. Yeah, this seems to be dwindling.
You said Jumanji 2, the next level, won't make the same amount of money as the first one.
I was right about that.
Maybe delayed until 2020. Nope.
Nope.
All right, Frozen 2 is such a huge movie that it will cannibalize Star Wars and Jumanji. That's hard because I think Frozen 2 is a massive hit. But I think the people watching Frozen 2 are not the same people that would watch Jumanji or Star Wars, you know?
Yeah, but neither one has made the money that their predecessors made as quickly. I think it's because they had them stacked on each other.
So I'll kind of give you that. You said Terminator movie will decide if James Cameron is a box office hot or not. Unfortunately.
Yeah, and so what I'm worried is because he's taken so long with this Avatar sequel, Disney's going to look at what Dark Fate did and starting to wonder, okay, how in are we going to go with the marketing?
You said no X-Men announcements, which, yeah.
Unless you want to account a Twitter thing of claiming that a trailer for New Mutants is going to drop January 6th.
Dumbo was going to be a big flop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty big flop. That was the only Disney movie not to make $1 billion, I think, or one of the ones. You said a new Batman will be cast and announced around San Diego Comic-Con. Now, San Diego Comic-Con, no, but a new Batman has been cast, so I'll give you that one.
Okay. Yeah, I'm doing pretty bad, so I could use all the points I can get.
We don't, I'm not counting the points, so. Now, who is the Batman again?
Robert Pattinson, yeah, Robert Pattinson.
And you said a new Superman will be cast, which has not happened yet.
Nope.
There's been rumors that Superman will be out, but Henry Cavill says he wants to stay in, and there's no rumors for Man of Steel 2 or anything going on, so we'll see what happens there. But for now, that's it for 2019 predictions. All right, so let's start off with the 2020 predictions. So, Krista, what is your first prediction for 2020?
I'm going to predict that Onward will make more money than Soul.
Wow, you stole my prediction.
Oh, really? I'm sorry.
No,
but you're right. I think you're 100% right there. Jake, what do you think of Krista's prediction?
Yeah, I would guess that's probably going to happen.
Like, I see Onward getting a sequel or two, and people loving it, and I see Soul being kind of like Up or Inside Out, where it's an amazing movie, it just doesn't connect as well. Some people love it, and some people just kind of forgot about it a year later, But yeah, I think that's a great prediction. In fact, I said almost exactly that. Jake, what's your 2020 first prediction?
Okay, I am going to go and I'm going to say that Soul is going to be the Academy Award winner for Best Animated Picture.
Okay, that's interesting. I don't know that many other animated movies coming out this year, so.
Yeah, so I'm saying from what we've heard, that's the lock. I think that it's kind of like how Parasite this year is going to be Best Foreign Picture.
Okay, so I'll go for my first 2020 prediction, and this was a little bit political, but it's 2020, for God's sakes, we can do a little bit of this. It's election year, and President Trump will criticize Wonder Woman 1984 because of the character of Max Lord. He will say it's too familiar, and he'll just hate it because of that. And to a degree that I could see that coming a mile away, because Max Lord is very similar to Donald Trump, how he was in the 80s.
So that means we're going to be looking forward to Pedro Pascal and Gal Gadot versus Trump on Twitter.
Maybe. Jake, you know about Max Lord. Is he similar to Donald Trump?
Oh, in the stuff I've seen from this movie, oh yeah.
All right. Krista, what's your next prediction?
I think Mulan is going to break $1 billion.
Okay. I will add to that and say that most of that money is going to come from Asia. Jake, what are your thoughts on Mulan making $1 billion?
Yeah?
I think most people in the West will complain that it's not like the cartoon, and most people in the East will be happy that it's not like the cartoon. I think that's a pretty safe addition to your prediction.
Yeah.
All right, Jake, what's your next one?
That there's going to be a successful launch of a third superhero universe. And I think it's going to be the Valiant universe with the Bloodshot movie.
Interesting. I didn't know that was even coming out this year.
We'll find out. It's supposed to.
All right. My next prediction is Top Gun Maverick will be released in 3D in China, but not anywhere else in the world.
I can see that.
I have no interest in Top Gun Maverick. I don't care. Now, I think some of the cinematography looks cool because they have the cameras like next to the jets and stuff, but I don't know if that's going to translate well to 3D. And I imagine just to get more people in the seats in China, having it in 3D exclusive will make it a big hit for Top Gun in China. Krista, what are your thoughts on Top Gun Maverick?
I mean, is that like the same franchise as Fast and Furious, or is it something else?
Should be, but no. No, Top Gun is a 1980s movie, right, Jake?
Yeah.
And basically started Tom Cruise's career.
Yeah, it made him a big star. Before that, he had made movies before, and he had a hit with Risky Business, but Top Gun is what really put him over the top. And it got converted to 3D in the 2000s.
Yeah, Top Gun came out in 1986, and I have never seen this movie. I've heard a lot about it, but I haven't seen it.
You're not missing anything. Captain Marvel, in the movies, Captain Marvel names her Flurkin, aka Cat, Goose.
Krista, what's your next prediction?
Wonder Woman 1984 will also break $1 billion.
Okay. I think that's a pretty safe one. Now, Mr. Bengal 5, our patron, one of our two patrons, said that Wonder Woman 1984 would do better than Joker, but not as well as the first Wonder Woman. And I think you're both right that it's going to be a pretty huge hit. I don't know if it'd be the same hit as the first, but I think it's definitely going to be happening. A big hit. Everyone's going to want to see that movie. Are you excited for that movie?
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
Jake, you excited for it?
Yeah, it's about damn time. I mean, Warner Brothers needs to deal with their delay problem.
So, Jake, do you have another prediction?
Yeah, I think Black Widow is going to be profitable, but it's not going to break $1 billion, and it's going to be considered a failure.
Okay. No, our other employee, Kristen Richards, said that basically the same thing, where she doesn't expect Black Widow to be a big hit, and it will be a signal of the end of the comic book films for the generation, just because people would it will just be kind of a slow year for the movies, and I think it will do well, but I think you can't have $1 billion every movie,
Mhm. And I just think of all the people that don't like Scarlett Johansson, the people that are fed up with female movies, whatever. And I just think that plus a little fatigue, the fact we might be at war. I mean, just a lot of things. And I just think it's not going to be Black Widow's year, because I also think they waited way too long to do this movie.
Yeah, it should have come out before Avengers.
It came out before Iron Man 3.
Yeah, in that range between after Iron Man 2, but before Avengers, or before Avengers Age of Ultron. In that year span, it should have come out sometime,
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they had time to get crappy knockoffs on the screen. And no, and I'm not talking about Wonder Woman was good. It wasn't a crappy knockoff. What I'm talking about is that thing, Red Sparrow, and there were a couple of others.
oh yeah. All right, Krista, do you have another prediction?
Birds of Prey will not do that good in the box office.
Oh, I got a partial one to add to that. I think it'll come out in 3D in China only, and we won't get it in 3D at all. I'm not looking forward to that movie at all. It just seems weird. I don't know. Jake, you looking forward to it?
Well, I wish it was. I'm hoping it's 3D, that we get a secret announcement that it's 3D, but I'm just like, Harley Quinn isn't a bird of prey.
And also somehow we're making a Harley Quinn movie without Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It just seems like a random decision. We're gonna make this into a movie, and it's just like, who cares? I don't know. I'm not looking forward to Birds of Prey. Okay. I'll go next. I will say that Ghostbusters Afterlife will be a quote-unquote box office disappointment. Not because it didn't make a huge amount of money. It's going to make money. It's going to make maybe 300 to 500 million worldwide. But people will say it should have made $1 billion. So, but it's going to be a good movie. It's not going to be super duper hit movie. Krista, are you looking forward to Ghostbusters Afterlife?
I really don't care.
I think Jake is right that it has the soul of Stranger Things mixed with Ghostbusters. So we'll see how that works out. Jake, are you getting excited for Afterlife?
Kind of. My big thing was Ghostbusters is first and foremost a comedy. And there wasn't a single laugh in that trailer.
Yeah.
So that had me nervous.
Do you have another prediction, Jake?
Okay. I'm going to predict it's going to be a bad year for Warner Brothers, other than Wonder Woman.
Okay.
As much as I think Dune is going to be incredible, I don't think it's going to make any money. I think it's going to be another Blade Runner 2046. An artistic accomplishment, a critical acclaim, but audiences are going to stay away.
Now, I think it might do some good money overseas, but I don't think it'll be a hit here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in other words, like Blade Runner 2046.
I don't know. It might just be a big hit in China or something, but I don't know. For some reason, I don't see that being a big hit here, so we'll see.
Yeah, and I don't see Scoob being a big hit either. I guess I can give another prediction.
All right, go ahead. What's your prediction, Jake?
I'm going to predict the Eternals is going to break $1 billion.
Oh, I'm going to predict the opposite. That's going to be a big flop.
Oh, it's going to be Marvel's first flop, and then they're going to remind us about the Inhumans.
So you think it's going to be a big hit, huh, Jake?
Oh,
Well, go big or go home.
Krista, do you have another prediction?
I say Venom 2 is not going to do as good as the first Venom.
Okay. Is that coming out this year?
Apparently.
Huh. Okay. I will say that Morbius will be a flop this year. I just don't see people really wanting to see a vampire movie with Marvel. I don't know.
Oh, and I predict Collider shuts down this year in 2020.
All right. Let's keep going here. Jurassic World 3 will get a trailer, and it will be both amazing and totally ridiculous. It's not going to come out this year, but we'll get a trailer for it. What do you guys think of Jurassic World 3?
Meh.
Mm.
Is Jeff Goldblum going to be in it?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to predict a Legend of Zelda movie coming out, and it's going to get announced, and Disney will be making it for Nintendo. Krista, what do you think of a Zelda movie?
That might be neat.
All right. Jake, you got another prediction or no?
3D is going to get a boost this year from VR
Okay.
platforms.
Krista, do you have a prediction?
Well, my decade prediction is that we're going to get a VR feature film, like a feature film length VR movie.
Okay, cool. We'll get to decade predictions in a minute. Do you have any more for the year or no?
I'm kind of running low. I think Jungle Cruise will not do that well. I think it will be a passable movie, but it won't make that much.
Okay, fair enough. Seems kind of a random movie anyway.
Yeah. But I predict we're going to love it.
Yeah.
And everybody else is going to hate it.
Okay. I'll predict that a Tetris movie teaser trailer will be released, and everyone's gonna hate it. Krista, what are your thoughts on Tetris becoming a movie?
I mean, how would you even go about that aside from making like emoji movie but worse?
Each of the blocks have a personality.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's like emoji movie but worse.
Oh, I would just hire PewDiePie and just have him play Tetris and talk about it for 90 minutes.
Uh,
And film it in 3D.
All right. My next prediction: Uncharted will be delayed until 2021. Jake, what are your thoughts on Uncharted being delayed?
I'll do one up. Uncharted will be delayed until Tom Holland is 35.
Okay. Sonic movie will be released in 3D after all.
Ooh, I'm hoping that comes true.
It's not likely, but the last minute we'll get a trailer, and we're like, "What? It's 3D? Cool! We get to review it, and it's gonna look really great in 3D." That's what I'm hoping for. Sometimes you gotta hope for things to predict. You know, you're not really predicting it because you think it's gonna happen, but you want it to happen. And then I'm gonna predict that Disney buys the entirety of Sony altogether. So no more Sony movie pictures. It'll be all under Disney, and that way Spider-Man goes back to being Disney. The Men in Black movies go back to being, and all that stuff will just be part of Disney.
then would there be any studios left that aren't Disney?
Warner Brothers.
I actually think because Disney made $10 billion at the box office in 2019 that they're gonna buy Spider-Man from Sony.
Okay, fair enough.
That's my prediction. It is going to be rumored to be like $10 billion.
All right. I guess let's go on to the decade. Jake, what's your first decade for the 20s prediction?
That Disney's going to be broken up by the Department of Justice. So they'll be forced to splinter off some of their assets.
Okay. That's interesting. It may not happen right away. I think it may take until like 28, 29, but I think that's feasible. All right, Krista, what's your next decade prediction?
Do you want me to repeat the VR one, or do you already?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so my prediction is that like VR will kind of reach a more broader audience. Right now, it's kind of limited to gamers, but I feel like as we get like cheaper VR technology, more people will use it. And so then it will be like financially feasible for people to start making like 3D VR films. Like 360 3D VR is like the future, in my opinion. And I feel like that'll start becoming more of the norm of 3D as opposed to 3D films in the theaters.
Okay, I like it. I think that's very plausible. Going back to our Patreon, he does also think that VR is going to be a big thing with a PlayStation 5 supporting 3D through VR, and Sony. Now, I think in this decade, we'll finally get Avatar 2 come out, and it will be actually pretty damn amazing. It will be worth the wait. Sometime this decade, those movies will come out, and they will be worth the wait, and it will shock everyone.
And it'll kickstart 3D all over again.
So, Jake, what's your next decade prediction?
That we're going to have glasses-free 3D.
Okay. That's been rumored, and the technology kind of exists, but it's kind of hard to implement for a big scale. So you think that's going to be able to happen?
Yeah, I think in 10 years, yeah, they'll do it.
Okay.
It'll be cheap enough, widespread enough. So I think it's going to happen.
All right, Krista, do you have another decade prediction?
Yeah, I mean, I think I kind of agree with Jake. I think holography and holograms will be more present, but I'm not sure what exactly that would look like.
Okay. Do you have another prediction for the decade, Krista?
I'm thinking.
All right, I'll go ahead and go as you're thinking. The fall of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It'll keep making money, but the time of billion-dollar movies has gone by. Eventually, they'll have a next Avengers movie, but it won't make the same amount of money as it did before. The new characters are mixed in there, and people like them, but it's not as good as it used to be. And I think the whole gambit of not Gambit as a character, but gambit of Disney Plus TV shows. People will watch it, but people that don't watch it are going to get pissed off and just walk away from not care about watching that. So, as much as I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think the 20s is when it falls down.
Okay. I think we're going to have at least one major theater chain go bankrupt.
Interesting. Let's say Regal.
Okay, maybe I'm laughing too hard at this.
And Animal Draft House will take over its place.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah, that's something we all could definitely be happy about. I will predict that this is getting harder and harder with the decade, but that CBS will make a Star Trek movie. They'll make another Star Trek movie come out in the decade with Chris Pine and that. It will do okay, but then they're going to go crazy and have a Star Trek movie that's not based on a TV series and is completely original, and it will actually be a big hit.
Cool.
So the movie will introduce the characters, the captain and everything, and it will be set in its own time, so it won't connect to anything. If it does connect to anything, it'll be Discovery, but very little. So it's going to be a brand new way to get into Star Trek, and people that are not into Star Trek can jump on board because it doesn't really connect that well, but it's something fresh.
I don't know if this counts as a prediction or more of just like a vain hope, but like within the decade, I want us to get Brandon Sanderson movies, like a Brandon Sanderson movie. and to officially have a Cosmere cinematic universe or whatever.
Mr. Bengal, our patron, also says that Monster Hunter will not be coming out in 3D, but in the US, but it will be in foreign markets, which is disappointing, but I kind of think that's right. And the 3D Art Film Archive will release more Silver Age 3D Blu-rays. Now let's go to crazy predictions, not related to 3D. Jake, what do you predict for the decade?
That there's going to be a renaissance in Walt Disney's original creations because they're going to start falling into the public domain, and artisans and all these Gen Z kids are going to get to play with them in their own little sandbox and are going to make them relevant and cool again.
I'm going to counter that and say Disney is going to try to extend the copyrights again, and that there will be like big court cases having to do with copyright law in this country.
Interesting.
And I will counter my reason for my prediction is because why would Iger be spending so much money on IP if they thought they were going to keep their crown jewels to themselves? Now, they will be things that they will keep, but they will be diminished in value because I see court cases arguing over the nitpicking things like the buttons, the gloves, the shape of the ears on Mickey, his nose, how many whiskers. I mean, I predict this shit's going to get litigated because people are going to want to play with this, and then they're going to like grab versions that'll still be in copy. And I think Disney is going to litigate. But after the last copyright extension, there was such a backlash. Nobody in Congress really has a taste for that fight or taken the money from Disney to support it. But I think it's going to be a combination because I think you're right. There will be some litigation, but I think it's going to be over minutia in Mickey's design and Minnie's and Goofy's and Pluto's. Of course, Pluto, I think, still may not be in the 2020s when he comes. He may be 2040 for him.
Okay. Krista, do you have another decade prediction? Random, whatever you want to predict?
Random? Do it. Pessimistic or optimistic? Oh my god. In the next 10 years, God, I am not looking forward to just like the future politically in general. I don't think we are going in a good direction.
Yeah, I will go ahead and say it. World War III is happening this decade.
Yeah, I was like, we're going to have
decade, dude. It's happening this year. What are you talking about? Decade?
We're having both simultaneously the rise of fascism and also the rise of the resistance of like Antifa movements and like socialism movements, and so we're having increasingly polarized. Like, I just don't see it going in a good direction. Like, no matter what happens, shit is gonna like people are gonna die. Also, global warming. We're going to have like the first within the decade, we're going to have the first major evacuations due to global warming. Like, I'm gonna say that. Like, some island nation is going to go fully underwater, and we will have refugees from countries that no longer exist.
And a global economic depression. Welcome to the terrible 20s.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and we're going to be, and film critics are going to be talking about how Mad Max Fury Road was such an accurate predictor of the future.
I don't go that far, but
Australia is on fire right now.
Yeah, exactly. It is one big weenie roast.
I mean, I feel bad for the people in Australia. I really do. It's horrific to imagine the entire continent being on fire.
Yeah, 500 million animals are dead. They're talking. There may be some extinctions because of these wildfires. Koalas are probably going to go back on the endangered list.
Ugh.
Jesus.
All right. To get things a little more positive as we wrap up the show, I will say there'll be an Onward 2 and 3 and Frozen 3 and 4.
Okay.
Just going out there. It's pretty easy to predict that for the decade. And Cars 5. Sure, why not? 4 and 5.
Positive predictions. I need to look at this from a positive perspective. Positive predictions.
And Gambit will finally come out.
Yeah. Warner Brothers will buy up Studio Ghibli.
Oh, okay.
And Lionsgate's going to become a full-fledged Hollywood studio, probably from buying up a smaller studio.
Apple leads the way when it comes to movies and TV and is the only thing big enough to fight off Disney and buys Warner Brothers.
Ooh.
That will be massive. I mean, obviously not as massive as World War III, but, you know, movie-wise, that will be massive because Apple doesn't play.
I mean, we will get a resurgence of war movies. We don't already have a bunch.
Virtual reality war movies.
All right, does anyone want to try to predict who's going to win the Democratic primary? Or no?
My positive prediction or my negative prediction?
Both. Why not? All of it all.
Okay, at this point, the only people I feel like have a chance are Warren, Bernie, and Joe Biden. Joe Biden, in my opinion, is the worst option of those three. I feel like if Joe Biden gets elected, like, nothing is going to change. We're just going to have, like, all the issues that we currently have, none of them will be fixed. And it's just so frustrating.
Joe Biden is Gerald Ford with more F-bombs.
I'll be positive and want this to happen. Bernie Sanders wins the nomination and he wins popular vote 55% and shocks the world and America as everyone is like, what? And then all the super conservative people will be like, see, that's what happened because, you know, Trump got elected. Now we got Bernie Sanders with a huge Senate and Congress and all these things get passed.
Like to charge, replug the cast.
Yeah.
I think my prediction will be more conservative. My prediction is that Bernie will barely win the nomination and that he will barely win the popular vote.
All right. Let's predict that cloning will become a regular thing and supermen and superwomen will be a thing that happens as genetic engineering goes rampant. And the people that were jailed for genetic engineering, that's just the beginning. We'll definitely have designer babies in the 20s.
Oh, God.
Okay, and my prediction is The Rock and Tyler Perry, former production company, overthrow the Trump crime family government and establish temporary martial law until they can get democracy back online.
I think that's the perfect way to end this show.
And if anybody believes that, I got some property to sell you.
We'll get at least 3 more Pokemon movies come out this decade. We'll get movies based on Frosted Flakes and the Honeybee from Cheerios.
Mm-hmm. And we will get Meme the movie.
Yep, Meme the movie. It will be just like Deadpool.
It'll bring back slides.
Okay, we had enough fun here for a prediction show. You know, obviously don't take any of this too lightly or, you know, too seriously.
Seriously.
We've had fun here. You know, God only knows what the future really what is going to happen. But sometimes we get things right and sometimes we get things wrong. And if we can, we will record next year if the world doesn't end. But, for the time being, we'll plan on it.
Yeah.
So, God willing, we'll all be here next year to try to record and see how our predictions happened. And I don't know if I'm going to be here in 2031, 2030 to see our predictions for the decade, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe 3D or 2D.com becomes a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and we could, give out money like candy. Hopefully that will be a prediction that comes true, and I'll be able to pay all y'all millions of dollars of back pay.
Yay. Yay. Hey, we're doing better than Collider.
I mean, like, even if it comes like a $50,000 company, like, that would be great.
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll at least double our patrons every year. Come on, we could do that. That's an easy prediction. 2 more people. We got 2 people. Yay. We've doubled it from last year. We could keep doubling it, and, yeah. So let's help us out. It's at least double our, reviews on iTunes and stuff and whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, when we hit 10 patrons, we'll release a 3D video.
Yeah. Yeah.
Figure out how to do it. I mean, I don't have a clue how we're going to do it, but we'll do it. We'll figure it out.
I mean, my prediction is that my next couple of years are going to be absolutely insane as I try and figure out how to produce my movie and how to release it. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we'll figure something out. We'll have our fun. So just keep listening and keep having fun with us, and try to give us some reviews and like us and comment. And, what do you predict for 2020 and the decade? Comment below, or however you're listening to this. Comment. If you want to leave your prediction as a review on Apple Podcasts, that's even better. But that's it for us. Okay, before this podcast wraps up, I want to thank my patrons. Thank you, David and Mr. Bengal 5, for your financial support on patreon.com.